Welcome back to USA News Hub. Here, we bring you the latest updates, highlights, and breaking news from the world of sports. Unlock the secrets behind Anthony Edwards' unstoppable plan for NBA glory. You won't believe what it takes to reach the top. He heard it while he was running the stairs at an empty Target Field, the beautiful baseball park right next door to where he holds court for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He heard it while he was in the gym, putting up thousands of shots per week to hone his craft. He heard it as he watched film of the last two Western Conference Finals, where both times his Wolves ran into superstars who had counters for every punch thrown at them. The voice told him the truth. It told him what Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving were for the Dallas Mavericks in 2024. It told him what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was for Oklahoma City last May. It told him what he has not yet become. Unstoppable, Edwards told The Athletic. As long as I can get to that point, I'm good. As he prepares to enter his sixth season in the league, Edwards has no interest in celebrating his all-star appearances, his shoe deals, or his movie roles. He has led the league in three-pointers made, become one of the most vicious in-game dunkers of his era, and has led what was a perpetually losing franchise to back-to-back Western Conference Finals. He doesn't listen to the comparisons to Michael Jordan of which he wants no part. Instead, he listens to the voice that wants more. That's what he wants to hear. When he is asked what he wants from this game, excluding the obvious answer of a championship, Edwards lights up. All I want them to say is we couldn't guard him, he said. We could not guard Shawty. That Edwards does not believe he has reached that level yet is notable in and of itself. He might be the most naturally confident player in this league, the great white shark in the NBA's ocean of ego. Edwards is the one who told Barack Obama, to his face, to stand down as he stood in a room with the former president, LeBron James, and Steph Curry and matter-of-factly proclaimed, "I'm the truth." He is the one who sat in the locker room after watching two-time MVP Nikola Jokic put up a 61-point triple-double against him and said, "He might be the best basketball player I've ever seen close up. Besides myself." Edwards is the one who called himself Black Jesus. In his second season in the league, there are enough hot coals in his stove of belief to warm all of Target Center in the dead of January, but that won't be enough to get the Wolves to make the final step. He's gotten to the Western Conference Finals twice, which is hard to do. But he's lost the same way, said Wolves assistant Chris Hines, one of Edwards' closest confidants in the organization. At some point, you have to take it a step forward. At some point, you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, what do I need to do to get it? This is not a selfish pursuit. He looks at the landscape of the league, how super teams are giving way to smartly constructed rosters with a go-to guy in the middle and a stellar cast around them. He knows that a universe is only as viable as the strength of the star around which everything else orbits. The way Edwards sees it, he hasn't been good enough, on either end of the court, in the last two conference finals. We ain't going to get to the finals without going through Luka or Shai, Edwards said. I just gotta keep getting better. That's the main thing. The tacit acknowledgement that he's not there yet is another sign of growth. To him, becoming unstoppable gives him the best chance to help his team reach heights it has never reached. Deep down, he hasn't felt truly unstoppable since he used to put on pads and a helmet under the blazing Atlanta sun all those years ago. For someone who plays the game with as much joy and spirit as Edwards does, it is always surprising to see the sparkle in his eye when he talks about the one that got away. Everybody knows football was my first love, Edwards said. A kid growing up in the rough-and-tumble Oakland City section of southwest Atlanta, Edwards was a star from the moment he set foot on the gridiron. His combination of size, speed, and power, even as an 8- or 9-year-old, made him too much to handle for other kids his age. They were like a one-man band, and they thought that they could give Ant the ball and everybody can get out of the way, said Dana Watkins, one of Edwards' youth coaches. He was enough to carry them. From Watkins' viewpoint, that was part of the problem. Football was too easy for Edwards. When he joined a higher-level team, serendipitously called the Vikings, he hated the extra conditioning and practicing that the coaches demanded of him. He was just really lazy because he was so used to just getting over just because he was so much more physical and so much bigger than most kids, Watkins said. Edwards' mother, Yvette, gave the hard-charging football coaches her blessing to ride Anthony in an effort to instill some sense of work ethic in him. If Anthony refused to do conditioning, his coaches made his teammates do the running for him. Sometimes the peer pressure worked, sometimes it didn't. Football came second nature to me. I didn't have to work out for football, Edwards said. Even if I had to play in the NFL right now, I wouldn't have to do too much work on my game. It would be more just working on my body. He suffered an ankle injury in middle school that knocked him out for a bit and opened the door for him to focus more on basketball, to follow in his big brother's footsteps. When Edwards turned to hoops, the size advantage disappeared with a quickness. In basketball, he wasn't head and shoulders taller than everybody else, Watkins said. He was just an average-sized kid on our team. Without the physical superiority, Edwards had to find another way to excel. He was behind several bigger, more skilled teammates, so he had to practice in a way that he never had to with football. Basketball, I really had to work to develop myself, he said. I couldn't shoot the ball well. I couldn't dribble that well. Edwards did not take kindly to being average. The same kid who refused to do conditioning in football started working at all hours of the day on basketball. He would get up early in the morning for workouts before school, get shots up during the day when he had a free period from class, and keep working well into the evening to try to make himself into more than just an athlete in sneakers. That's all for today's update on USA News Hub. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest sports news and highlights from around the world.